Doorways Magazine.
Journal of Horror and the Paranormal.
Our stories and columns as doorways to transport you to other places.
Some of those places may scare you.
Others make you sit back and think.
But all of them are here to take you out of your ordinary life for just a little while.
Where nothing follows the rules.
Where commonplace events have uncommon consequences.
Where the sound you hear.
Where the sound you hear or the movement you see from the corner of your eye is just as scary and strange as your imagination says it might be.
Visit us at doorwaypublications.com.
Hi, this is Roughhouse of Parahub Radio, the internet's only rock and roll paranormal extravaganza. Thanks for downloading this week's podcast. Now, this is a stripped-down version of our weekly show without the music and the commercials. If you'd like to hear the whole show, join us on Thursdays beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, and 3 a.m. in the UK. Just go to parahub.org and you can hear the whole show and chat with us. Thanks for downloading this week's show. Hope you enjoy it. Parahub Radio, the internet's only rock and roll paranormal extravaganza. Foreigner and hot-blooded. Hi, my name is Roughhouse. Joining me tonight, Paula, Anthony, and Katz. Got them live on the line right now. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Well, hello.
May the force be with you.
Have you seen the new Star Wars cartoon on Cartoon Network?
No. Is it good?
I have no idea. I've seen promos for it, but I haven't seen the cartoon. I figured, well, Paula probably has.
No.
I missed it. I forgot all about it.
My channel is stuck on Noggin.
What is Noggin?
It's for kids.
Oh, I see. I guess once you have a child, you're stuck watching kid stuff for about 5 or 10 years? Is that how it works?
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, okay.
It's either that or the TV's off.
Yeah, okay, well, the Disney Channel is on, in the car, or something. Disney Channel. What? I tried listening to that once, just to see what it was. Very odd. Very, very odd. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
I am doing wonderfully. How are you doing, man?
Living the dream. Is your microphone working tonight? Sounds like it.
It looks like it's working. It hasn't shut off on me yet.
Dun, dun, dun. Tonight we have a brand new sponsor to the show, Doorways Magazine. It's a really cool magazine, too. These guys do horror and paranormal fiction and poems. The latest issue has a story by Clive Barker in it. So go by and check these guys out, doorwayspublications.com. And if you need, sometime after the show, or if you're listening to the podcast later or whatever, then just go to parahub.org. The banners are on the front there, and we want to thank them at Doorways Magazine for being our new sponsor. And when you get the latest issue, you'll see our mugs on a page there. Lucky you.
Mug shots.
No doubt. Speaking of mug shots, I see you're progressing on the paranormal, the para-charity calendar for next year.
Kind of.
Yeah?
Well, I'm finishing up my business book work that I've been slacking on all year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's almost done. So soon, I hope. Soon I'll have that calendar done, and then we can all celebrate.
I've seen the pictures that are in the calendar for next year. Let me just say there's 12 pages of hotties there. If I do say so myself.
Yeah, Paula's like reigning supreme is hot mama.
Paula and Katz are both in there.
Sarcastic.
No.
I know,
Yes,
she kept taking out the one where I was topless. I don't understand that. She told me to be free with my picture, and she just kept taking it out. And I'm like, no, put something on. Hello, this isn't Calendar Girls.
Hey, well, the men all kept their clothes on in their calendar. In fact, they were all wimps.
And that was very disappointing,
well,
I have to say.
Wait a minute. Some of us were willing to do it, but certain other members of our families were not willing to share,
And there were a few gentlemen that were actually offended by the idea of it.
So,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
There is a picture of me with a dish towel.
What, Anthony?
But,
Anthony, what'd you say?
I said, who are we talking about?
Rough.
Well, certain guys for
Ruff said he have to have 2 pages just for his picture. Okay,
That's
he
right.
was like wanted to be the centerfold.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
because he's got a
ask
big
why
head.
he needs to.
Well, that's absolutely right. If anybody's going to get 2 pages, it's going to be me. Because I really do need it. But
and then he wakes up.
No Bigfoot, no man boobs.
No.
if you're not in the chat room right now, you need to jump in there. There's some lively conversation going on right now. You can find the chat room at bounceradio.net and go by there and put your 2 cents in, because the calendar, we just got past the month that had me in it, and I think there's 2 more, 3 more left in this month.
Todd's up now.
Yep, Todd Sheets from Night Watch is up right now for the October month, and I'm sure if somebody really, really, really wanted the calendar, Paula can get you a copy somewhere along the line. But the 2009 Ladies of the Paranormal calendar coming out here soon. Besides Paula and Katz, let's see, who else is in there? Pamela Heath, the Ghost Chicks, Tiffany Johnson, Psychic. Got quite a few ladies in there. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Don Shy, who's in the chat room right now. All kinds of people, women from the paranormal in there. And just keep an eye out. We'll have those banners out. We'll let you know when the calendar is ready. You can always check Paula's Para Charity MySpace page and find out, updates and when it's going to be available for next year, because believe me, you'll want to get this thing. It's really cool, and it goes to a great cause in that it goes to children and animals in the Central Florida area. And we always, we applaud Paula for that. Yay, we're applauding.
Yay!
So,
Sure, that was an applause. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was. See?
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't sound like that. That's
Sorry.
okay.
Actually,
No?
something got in the way, but I ain't gonna get into that. We'll go back to that.
Oh.
Got that dish towel in the way.
Don't make me start yelling the word.
Oh no, let's not do that again. But like last week, that's a joke. If you weren't here with us last week, you totally don't get. Go listen to the podcast. Count how many times she says the word last week. So. Or no, it was week before last, actually. You weren't here last week.
No, I wasn't here last week, no.
Some people have been asking in the chat rooms and emailing if you're available to do readings, because periodically we do them on the air. And, somebody's starting the word in the chat room already.
Oh,
Good
no.
night.
That's my groupies.
Anyway.
My orgasm groupies. Yay!
I don't know, are you available to do that kind of stuff, like after the show on the in the chat room?
I am. I prefer, if they could send me a message on my MySpace, because I am on MySpace.
Right.
It makes it a little easier.
Okay.
So the chat room, because there's so many people at once on there, and sometimes it locks up.
Right.
So if you guys are interested in a reading, go ahead and go to my MySpace page. It's myspace.com/AGNCATZ. I'm also on the, of course, top friends list of Parahub, or I better be. And just click there, send me a message, and say in the subject line, Cats, I want a reading, and I will get right back to you. I will probably be on. I'm usually on an hour after the show's over, and then of course during the week I'll also be available as soon as I can. I will get to everybody. So yeah, go ahead, feel free to send me messages and let me know you want readings. It's not a problem.
There you go. And maybe if we have time this evening, maybe we might do a couple of those here in just a little while. Pete Haviland's got the night off, so we got lots of time to kill where he would normally be sticking his 2 cents in. So speaking of, and that's just a joke, of course, he's probably listening and flipping a finger off at me right now. Coming up tonight, Pamela Jean, or Pamela Noble. I'm not sure what we need to call her. She goes by both. She's an actress. She stars as Mary in the new movie Resurrection Mary. It's one of those urban legend kind of stories, and I know everybody that's listening knows the story of the kid that's driving down the road and sees the girl in white, picks her up, takes her home, just to find out from her parents that she had died, years and years before. That's what this movie is about. It's actually an actual urban legend out of Chicago of a woman who died in the late 30s, and somewhere along the line, a guy picks her up, and you know the rest of the story. But it's a pretty interesting read. If you want to go to resurrectionmarythemovie.com, you can get a little update on that. It's out in DVD right now. We'll be talking with, I guess she's not so much the star, but the title character of Resurrection Mary. We'll be talking to Pamela here in just a little while. Hey, guess where I'm going to be tomorrow night? On a radio show. Who'd have thunk?
Yay!
You traitor.
Yeah.
I know. What's up with that?
What in the world?
Russ,
That's
calm
my
down.
doggy. I
Wow.
know.
You know, thanks.
That's my doggy. Sorry.
Your doggy
That's
loves me.
Bandit. That's Bandit. I adopted him from the shelter.
Oh, good for you. Hi, Bandit.
Yes, he is blind in one eye, and you can see pictures of him on my MySpace.
That's why you call him Bandit, because he's one-eyed, right?
Well, no, he was Bandit before. He came from actually, he was
that's-
abused very badly, and that's how he got blind.
Oh, I see. I was thinking one-armed Bandit, you know.
No,
but he's one
I call him Bandit, the one-eyed wonder. He's awesome. He's a long-haired shepherd. He's just
That
the
was-
most awesome.
That was my
He's
nickname.
one-eyed on the other side.
That was my nickname in
Yeah.
high school. Thank
yeah.
you. Anyway, well, good for you. I'm glad you got a puppy dog out of the shelter. More people need to be doing that.
I think so. Shelter dogs rock. Shelter animals are like the best.
Yeah.
To me, they're just misplaced with the wrong families, and then the right families come in and get them.
Right. I lost a member of my family about a week ago. You know, one of our puppy dogs. You know, we had to send her over to puppy dog heaven, and had a kind of a rough week. No pun intended there.
Right.
But so I know. Yeah, we're down to just one puppy dog now, and he's so lonely. But
Sorry.
he's like 14, so it's not like he can get around and do much. He's not hitting the social scene like he used to. But tomorrow night, Pete and I. Well, Pete supposedly. I don't know if he's going to be there or not. Pete and I are supposed to be on the Haunted Hunters show. It's going to be at 1 a.m. on the East Coast, 10 p.m. if you're on the Pacific Coast, and anywhere in between, the coast. Of course, you have to adjust accordingly. But we'll be on there tomorrow night to talk about the show. We'll make, total mayhem and just totally wreck their show like we do ours here. So, and then Pete will be at the Jefferson Ghost Hunters and Legend Seekers Conference on Saturday, this coming weekend. So if you're in Jefferson, Texas, or around in that area, and you want to come by and say hi to Pete, just go by the Parahub website. There's a link there, parahub.org, where you can actually get tickets to go on this ghost hunt and check out the Jefferson Ghost Hunters and Legend Seeker Conference. There's also a phone number there if you need to. Coming up, we got that interview with Pamela Jean and Styx, Mr. Roboto, Parahub's Paranormal News with Paula. It's up next, right here on Parahub Radio.
Parahub Radio News.
Da-na-na-na. Parahub Radio News brought to you by Doorways Magazine. Go by and see them at doorwayspublications.com. Here's Paula with the latest paranormal news. Or so I think.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I was waiting for.
And action.
A red carpet. All righty. Okay, first off, I have the History Channel's UFO Hunters crew was in the studio and broadcasted on our very own Bounce Radio this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the recent UFO sighting in Needles.
Right.
Does anybody know how that show went? Because I didn't listen.
No, but it's right. You know what? That's like 30 minutes away.
Really?
Needles, California.
Did you get to see the Men in Black? I mean, this happened, I want to say, in April or so. Some people in the area of Needles saw something fall out of the sky into the lake.
Right.
And then the very next morning, the Men in Black were swarming the place.
Right.
So we talked with Dog, and he, of course, he doesn't live in that area. He just works there. And he basically, he just said, they came in, they questioned some people, they left. So they're apparently taping this for a future episode, I believe.
I think so. That's what I hear. Rumor has it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. UFO hunters, keep an eye out in the spring.
Yep.
Well, the Virgin Mary is at it again, causing trouble.
That darn Virgin Mary.
Wreaking havoc. People are seeing her again in a window in Springfield, Massachusetts at the Mercy Medical Center.
Okay.
And, well, you know, to me it looks like another stain, but you can see the video, of course, at myspace.com/poltergeist tower, 2 T's.
2 T's.
Not really 2 T's.
2 T's.
Not really meaning to
2
plug
T's.
my
That
site,
sounds wrong.
but
That's her new name, 2 T's.
2 T's.
Well, we could take it somewhere else, you know, but we're going to let it go.
Double
Why?
T's.
She's a double T. Paula's the double T woman.
Good Lord.
This T stands for tease.
I'll have to email Victoria's Secret. Do you guys do double T's?
Man, just the visual of that. How in the world would a woman operate, you know? What
She
size
could
are you?
float really well.
Well, she gets the right guy. You know, you can hold him up for her, you know.
Double T's. She has her own personal semi to get around.
I know.
You know, those cherry pickers that pull out engines? You know, she's got a couple of those wheeling around.
He needs the jaws of life to get in and out of cars, yeah.
And now you know what Paula Jedi looks like.
Right. Pretty close, but not quite T. Okay.
Nice. Wow.
Alrighty then. Back to paranormal news.
I can't believe Anthony didn't chime in at all.
I thought it was too dangerous. I didn't
Oh, I
want-
see. Oh, God.
Okay, Paula, what's going on?
Okay,
Normally?
speaking of T's, we have Kirsten Dunst.
Okay.
Kirsten Dunst, she's going to direct a movie called The Jealous Ghost. And the movie's going to be about a woman who's doing research on the Henry James ghost story, The Turn of the Screw.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know that story, but anyway, in the movie, she finds out about the story, okay, I can't talk again. When she finds out about the story, the more strange things happen to her. Anyway, the screenplay is still being written.
Okay, so we're seeing like 5 years.
Right? You gotta wait.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, the new Ghost Adventure show is set to air on October 17th on the Travel Channel at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, Zach and the boys are going to be locked inside a building that's haunted with evil spirits, and they won't even have a camera crew.
But aren't they always evil? Every time you watch one of these shows, they're evil.
Well, only evil spirits throw bricks.
And he's been hit by a brick, he said.
Yes.
I
The
can.
2 T's.
That's one big
Look,
brick.
I have to say, Bigfoot to the rescue. He's got a 9.
The size 9 hammock.
Yeah, size 9 hammock.
I don't know what that
Good.
means.
We could take that anywhere.
Anyway.
Okay, this next one's pretty weird. A 13-year-old girl from India is baffling doctors this week because she bleeds from her pores without even being cut or injured.
Kind of like
She
somebody
even
else
wakes
in
up-
history.
She even wakes up at night with blood all over her body, and she said her eyes bleed.
Wow.
And villagers think she's cursed.
You think?
Well, she's not blessed.
Why does this stuff always happen in India? 9-armed
Weirdest
children
things-
and
It's
double.
got to be the water.
I don't know.
It's the water.
I think it's just the fact that there's 7 zillion people that live there. You know,
Could be.
either that or the fact that the bodies float down the Ganges. That might have something to do with it. They do.
Yeah.
They just throw them in the river. Not with everything else. So I hear. I've never
It's
been
kind
there.
of like the Colorado River down here. Yeah.
Just throw anything in it, right?
Yeah.
UFOs fall out of the sky, land right
I
in the
know.
river.
Yeah, exactly. Just land right there.
Yeah,
Everything else is there.
You're going to have
Yeah.
3-eyed fish now. Anyhow. What else is left?
Well, we have one closer to home. The Seven Sisters Inn in Ocala, Florida is apparently haunted.
Oh, yeah.
And ghost hunters were there. Taps. Now I'm off again. Bloopers. They were there. I mean, it was on the show last Wednesday.
Oh, so they were in this area. Oh, that's right. They were here for...
Does it mean they were here last Wednesday?
No,
they
no, no,
played it on TV last Wednesday.
Right, when they were here for TapsCon.
Yep,
They
they were
did-
here around that time. Your reps.
Yeah.
Right, and they hit St. Pete too. The Vinoy.
Right.
Vinoy wasn't nearly as interesting as the Seven Sisters. That I'd like to go up and investigate myself.
What do you know about the Seven Sisters?
Me personally, nothing. I'd never heard of it until the show. So I'm
okay.
definitely planning on going up there. It's a bed and breakfast, so I plan on going up there and staying myself.
It's in Ocala.
Yep.
Okay. That's not too far away from where we are here in Central Florida.
And rumor has it John Travolta has a house there.
He does.
Yeah.
In Ocala.
Yeah. Not that I've ever been there.
He's trying to keep close to the Scientologists.
Well, yeah, that's because Tampa's the Scientology capital, or Sarasota is, rather.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go.
And there you go.
Hey, you know, Gene Wilder lives in St. Augustine, and so does Eddie Money. I partied at their house.
Did you really?
No.
I was at a
Sounds good.
rock star's private party before. Nobody's heard of him. Have you ever heard of Dickie Betts?
Yes, from the Allman Brothers.
I was at his private
Nobody's
party
ever heard of him.
a couple of years ago.
See, you're a hottie.
He played a little mini concert at a party, so it was pretty awesome.
Wow, that's cool.
She's a hottie. She gets into those friggin' parties. See how
Just
she
throw
is?
those double T's out there. And
I
hey, what
know.
happens?
Just hook.
Don Shy has a cousin in Ocala, so now
But
we have
mark
to
my
go.
words, Brian Johnson will be on this show someday.
Brian
I have
Johnson.
no clue when, but someday.
Speaking of Brian Johnson, got the new AC/DC song coming up in just a little while. As we got to wrap this up because we got to talk with Pamela Jean here from Resurrection Mary. So.
Alrighty, from the internet's only rock and roll paranormal extravaganza, I'm Paula Jedi with Parahub Radio News, sponsored by Doorways Magazine. See them at doorwayspublications.com, and don't forget to check out the latest edition featuring Clive Barker.
Doorways Magazine.
Journal of Horror and the Paranormal.
Our stories and columns as doorways to transport you to other places.
Some of those places may scare you,
Others make you sit back and think.
but all of them are here to take you out of your ordinary life for just a little while.
Where nothing follows the rules.
Where commonplace events have uncommon consequences.
Where the sound you hear.
Where the sound you hear or the movement you see from the corner of your eye is just as scary and strange as your imagination says it might be.
Visit us at doorwaypublications.com.
Parahub Radio, the internet's only rock and roll paranormal extravaganza. And on the line with us, we've got Paula, Anthony, and Katz. And we were just talking a few minutes ago about the urban legend of Resurrection Mary. And on the phone with us right now, the actual Resurrection Mary. Actually, she plays the character in the movie called Resurrection Mary. Pamela, is it Pamela Jean?
Yeah, Pamela Jean.
Because I know in some places it has you listed as Pamela Noble, so we weren't exactly sure where to go with that.
Pamela Jean is my first and middle name, and they decided to go with that. So.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that wasn't your choice then.
Well, I mean, in the modeling world, everyone knows me as Pamela Jean, so
Okay.
I think they just didn't want to get people confused.
Well, they did
I think I'm two different people.
They did a great job of not confusing me because I wasn't sure.
It's easy to confuse Pamela, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm easily confused. Well, quite easily these days. Now that I'm 41 as of this week. But this movie Resurrection Mary, it's an urban legend that you star as Mary in the movie. Tell me a little bit about your character.
Well, they pretty much try to follow every kind of, anybody that had a sighting of her kind of has the same story of how she was, and that's kind of what they went off of. She's very, prim and proper and articulate and very much the girl next door. She just, ran into a few problems because of people that were around her.
Right.
So.
And this character is based on an actual person?
Yeah, Resurrection Mary was a 17-year-old girl that got hit on the side of Archer Avenue in 1939, and they didn't know what her last name was because when they found her, no one actually ever claimed her body.
Mm-hmm.
But she had a handkerchief in her purse that had the name Mary on it, and so they went off of that.
So, how did you come to get this part for the movie?
Well, I auditioned,
Mm-hmm.
and I got the role But I mean, it was for me. It was kind of tough. It's sad to say, but I mean, I'm more of a tomboy, likes to get dirty, very not articulate at all.
so you went for a character that's completely opposite you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it seems like it'd be really easy, but trying to make sure I articulated all my words and I always stood up straight and I always crossed my legs was killer.
Oh, they have to teach you all that?
No, I mean, I did it all. Like, I had to train myself for a couple of weeks, but yeah, it was interesting. I kept saying every day of the shoot, I wear the same dress every day of the shoot throughout the whole movie, and I was like, I'm going to burn this dress.
And did you, after it wrapped up?
They wouldn't let me.
That would have been a funny in the outtakes part of the DVD there. We're talking with Pamela Jean. She plays Mary in the new movie Resurrection Mary. You guys, I guess you shot this? Was it released last year or was released this year? How long did it take to?
Yeah, it was released barely about a month ago.
About a month ago, yeah. So you guess what? Worked on it last year for a few months, or how long did it take to film it?
It took about a month, but normally on movie shoots, you shoot 5-day weeks and 8-hour days, and we shot 6-day weeks and 12-hour days. So we got it done a lot quicker than most people would have.
Ow! That had to be a crunch.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was very tiring.
I hope they paid well for that. Wow.
Yeah, they did.
Of course. I'm going to open up here to our panel here. Our guest co-host, Paula, Anthony, and Katz are with us. Paula, you have a question?
Yes. Hi, Paula Jedi here. I'm wondering if while you were filming the movie, did anything freaky happen? Did you experience anything paranormal?
Actually, yeah. We had, there were 2 locations that we shot at. One was a cemetery in Altadena, and the other one was the Indian reservation in Cibola.
Okay.
And both those locations, and there's a cemetery kind of on the Cibola reservation too. But on both those locations, we had car batteries that were constantly dying, camera batteries that were dying and dying faster than, like, the production company would call the company where they got all the camera batteries from, and they're like, yeah, they shouldn't be dead yet, and they bring us out new ones, and the same thing would happen again. And
wow.
I remember the producer, Dale, was taking out trash one night at the Altadena Cemetery, and he said that it was like late at night, no one was around, and he looked up in the I don't know what you'd call it, in one of the buildings, and there was like an orange fireball kind of glowing in the windows, and it was pretty late at night, so no one should even be on the property. You're still doing work. And so he said he like ran out of there, but the next day he like asked the caretaker, he was like, was there anybody here last night? Was there anybody doing anything? And he was like, no, why? And he told him what he saw, and the caretaker was like, nope, there should have been no one there.
Wow.
I mean, just those little things were kind of scary.
Yeah, did it freak you out a little bit?
A little bit. I mean, I was always, like right after shooting was done, I would leave. So it was just things that you kind of heard because, like, by the time they were trying to start up cars and everything, all the actors are gone. It's when they're trying to, like, move things around. So, it's just things that we heard. I don't think I really experienced anything, but all the things we heard from different people, we were like, oh, okay, does she not want us making this movie? I know.
What drew you to the character?
Well, I mean, I've always said with my career, like, I didn't want to do the same kind of roles over and over and over again. And one of my biggest things is, I am blonde, I'm skinny, I have pretty large boobs. I don't want to play like those blonde bimbos, like, I know that's the easiest role to give me because the way I look, and that's exactly what I don't want to do. And so, she's very conservative. She's very covered up the whole movie. Like I said, very prim and proper. So it was the best way to go the exact opposite to show, like, I don't have to play those roles. Look, I can do this.
Right. Anthony, you have a question?
Yes, I was wondering what kind of work you had done prior to Resurrection.
What kind of work you had done prior? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done lots of supporting roles. This was my first actual lead. But I've been in the movie Death from Texas, Deadly Captain Mirage, also Theory Revised. I'm in a movie that's coming out next year called The Diet Life.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a movie called Almost a Woman, and then I've done tons of commercials and music videos. So.
Yeah? Well, you work in this movie with Sally Kirkland, who's done. She's got a huge resume. How was she to work with?
You know, what's funny is I never actually worked with anybody in the movie besides Kevin Schmidt and Kyle Davis. Like, I saw all of them around the set, obviously, and I got to talk to all of them plenty of times. But I never actually worked with anybody besides them. But, I mean, Sally Kirkland and Richard Reilly were so much fun to talk with. And they're so experienced and, you know, they know so much about the industry, and they've been through it all. So they were just so much fun to have around, especially on your first lead role.
Yeah, I bet. I would, think Sally Kirkland's been around since the 70s. You know, she probably would have some kind of little, coaching advice for you. So you never got to actually sit down with them and talk with them?
Yeah, Sally Kirkland was coming up to me every day because she knew, like, I that I was kind of a tomboy and everything like that. And I had to be proper and stand up straight and stuff. So she would come up to me every day, and she'd hit me on the back. And she'd be like, stand up straight. You're a goddess.
Wow.
And I'd be like, okay, Sally.
Wow.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, we are talking with Pamela Jean. She plays Mary in the Resurrection Mary movie. If anybody's got a question in the chat room, by all means, go ahead and throw it our way. Katz, did you have a question?
Paula took it.
Oh, she did.
She always steals my questions.
Oh, well. All right.
I'm a thief.
So what do you got coming up here in the near future? I mean, you said you're working on a movie here. Is there any kind of modeling or anything else you're working on?
Yeah, I'm doing actually tons of modeling jobs. I just shot yesterday for Surf Illustrated. So that should be coming out in either next month or the month after. But other than that, I've been doing tons of modeling jobs because I can't really do too much acting right now because I have to promote Resurrection Mary.
Mm-hmm.
But modeling's going great.
Awesome.
Can't complain there.
Awesome. What are you doing? You're going out and promoting it. How are you promoting it? You going to do appearances and whatnot?
Yeah, we're doing radio interviews, and we've done tons of newspapers and magazines and things like that. So I think that's what they're going to try to continue on. I mean, it might get a little bit more now that Halloween's coming up.
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Somebody in the chat room wanted to know if you had any prior experience with paranormal prior to doing this movie. You know, anything happened to you as you were growing up?
Well, we kind of think my Nana, we call her my Nana, it's my grandma. We kind of think my grandma haunts our house.
Really? What makes you think that?
Because when she was, like, passing away, she told my sister and my mom, I think I was really young, I don't remember, but she told them that she was going to be with us until my sister was happily married.
My
sister is probably,
Okay.
She's not married, and she probably never will get married because my sister doesn't even want to be married.
Right.
And ever since then, we have weird things, like just things will disappear, and they'll come back where it was way too obvious to miss. You know, like there's no way that you would have missed it. Like when my stepdad and my mom got married, he was looking for his white button-up shirt to get married in, and he couldn't find it anywhere, so he had to go buy a new one. And when he came back, his closet was split in half, and the shirt was sitting right in the middle.
Split in half?
Things like that.
You mean the clothing was on either side?
Yeah, like his closet, the clothing was like one on one side, and then the other clothing was on the opposite side, and his shirt was just hanging in the middle.
I had a vision of a closet being split in two, on opposite sides of the room.
Like that, like you just wouldn't miss things like that. And we've had stuff like we'll hear glass breaking in the house, and we'll go and there'll be like a picture frame or a mirror upside down, but nothing's broken. Like little things like that where it's just not explainable. Like you heard glass break, something should be broken.
Right.
But something's on the floor in one piece. So.
Right.
weird things like that.
That's kind of cool, actually. What is your dream role? I mean, when you think about what the role that you absolutely would just die for, what comes to mind?
I mean, I'd love to do like a Girl Interrupted kind of role, like Angelina Jolie. Mm-hmm. She's a sociopath in that movie.
Right.
Something like that would be really cool because you just definitely have to get in the character and keep up your stuff, or it's just not going to work out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something like that. I love the movie Closer too.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is any role, I don't know, just little things like that.
Yeah.
Just interest me so much.
Cool. When you were offered this role, did you do any study on the urban legend? Like maybe go to the place?
No, I had no idea. Like I was just like, okay, cool, and then I
it's a paycheck, right?
Yeah, and then I Googled it and I started looking everything up, and I was just like, oh my gosh, because if you Google Resurrection Mary, there's like 40 pages of Google, so that's probably like, I don't know how many stories, like 5,000 stories if there's like 40 pages.
Wow.
And 40 pages of people saying they cited her. So, I mean, that's a lot of sightings, and I don't know how long, it's 1939.
Yeah.
She's been around, but yeah, it was just amazing to read all that, and just that she's been around that long and been still going at it for that long.
Right. Well, you're still fairly young in the business there. What, about 20, 21 now, something like that?
That's funny.
Yeah. What do you do in your downtime when you're not doing acting and modeling?
And when I'm not going to school full time.
Yeah? What are you going to school for? Yeah. What are you going to do?
I'm going to Cal State San Bernardino, and I go, I'm taking actually this semester 14 units, so that's pretty hard.
Yeah.
On my schedule. But yeah, so when I'm not doing that, I'm pretty much doing homework.
Okay.
And reading, because I've always been like a straight A 4.0 student, so me to like not do my homework, it would just like, that'd almost be like killing me.
Yeah. So it doesn't leave you a lot of time for a boyfriend there, I guess, then, huh?
I have a little bit of time for that.
Oh, you sneak one in every once in a while? I see there.
I have a little bit of time to have fun.
I bet you do. All righty, we're talking with Pamela Jean. She plays Mary in the new DVD, newly released Resurrection Mary. Where is the DVD available?
I believe right now the people who have the most stock of it is Walmart. They're the ones that are basically promoting it like crazy and ordering tons and tons of copies. I guess they're going to actually have it in the stores all the way through February of next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be your best bet, but if not them, Best Buy, Circuit City, but those ones you have to check because there's some where the stores have it, and then there's other stores where it's only online.
Yeah.
So Walmart's your best bet, but if not, Best Buy and Circuit City.
Or I guess they could go to the website. What is it? ResurrectionMaryTheMovie.com, I believe is the.
Yeah, you can order it straight through there too.
Yeah, so it's go check this movie out. It's a very, very popular urban legend, Resurrection Mary. Pamela Jean plays Mary in it, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You have a great weekend.
You too.
You're listening to Parahub Radio, the internet's only rock and roll paranormal extravaganza. That whole conversation is throwing me off. The conversation we had with Pamela Jean there. Nice interview.
Oh, not the double T's.
Yeah, that double T's thing's got me going. Because people keep talking about it in the chat room and whatnot. You guys, off air. Double T's. My name is Roughhouse. I want to thank Annette Martin. She's a psychic in California, and she is basically uber psychic. I mean, she works with a lot of police departments and whatnot, solving crimes. She wrote a book called The Gift of the White Light, and she sent me an autographed copy for having her on the show a few weeks ago, and I just want to thank her so much for that. And if you missed that show, it's real easy to hear. Go back and go to Planet Paranormal and go to the Parahub link there, and you can find podcasts from all of our shows that we've done over the past, year, I guess, are there. And Annette Martins goes back a few weeks, and you can hear us talk with just about anybody, I guess, that we've talked to in the past, at least the last 6 months. So go by there, Planet Paranormal, and find our podcast there every week. Thousands of people download it. Are you one of them? Well, I hope so. Haunted Hunters tomorrow night. You'll find Pete and myself. We're going to be on their show. I think it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 p.m. if you're out on the West Coast. So if you're up and about, go check it out. Haunted Hunters there on, and I'm not sure exactly where it is. There's a link on parahub.org. You can click on it there.
And now, another episode of Tales from Anthony.
Oh, time for another Tales from Anthony.
Thank you, sir. Well, in keeping with the Resurrection Mary and, a woman almost getting hit by a car on the side of the road, or getting hit by a car, rather, I decided that I'm going to let you all in on a little secret.
Okay.
I hit a woman
You
on
did
the side
not.
of the road once. Yeah, I
hit
did.
somebody?
Wait a minute. Did you hit or you hit her? Like you hit it or you hit her?
I hit her. I put her legs...
Physically
right out
pummeled her.
Oh, okay.
She ended up holding onto my windshield wipers and screaming at me.
Wow.
I hit
Go
her.
Anthony. Work it, boy.
All right, explain.
Okay, well, I'm driving down the road. I'm heading off to work, and I see all these people picketing on the side of the road. And I decided I had a little time on my hands. I was actually a little early for work, and that I was going to pull over and counterattack them, basically. Just argue with them just for the sake of arguing with them.
Uh-huh.
So I pull over. I start arguing with them. I stick my finger in their faces, start yelling at them, being my typical self. So I have my fun with them. They make reference to my job, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in my uniform. I should probably, walk away from here so that they don't try and identify me and stalk me later or call the cops on me or anything. So I get in my car. I start to pull out onto the road, and they're holding their picket signs now up to my window of my car because they're mad at me, obviously.
Obviously.
So I couldn't look right as I proceeded out onto the road, and I followed the last car, that was driving by, and I gunned it, turned, and all I heard was,
Why are you doing?
now everything's happening in slow motion now. So I'm slowly turning my head. I'm watching signs fly through the air as people start chasing me in slow motion down the road going, what are you doing? Stop! I look up to the front. She's holding onto my windshield wipers. Her earrings are stuck in the grill of my car, that little grill from the car. She's got her face pressed on the glass, yelling at me, screaming, and begging me to stop the car. So I slam on the brakes. Bad idea. I should have probably just slowed down a little bit. No, I locked it up. I freaked out a little bit about it. So I lock up the brakes. Of course, she goes flying off the front of the car into the road. We're talking about a busy U.S. highway now. She goes flying up into the road. I jump out of my car, put it in park, of course. That would have been a disaster. So I jump out of the car. My legs are shaking. I'm freaking out because now here I had just been yelling at this woman with my finger in her face, and now I mow her down. What are the cops going to think when they arrive? Of course, like roaches, everybody starts coming out of all the office buildings. Everybody's on their cell phone calling 911. And she's laying there. You know what the first thing she says to me is?
What?
Don't worry. Jesus still loves you.
Oh, God.
So now I'm thinking, not only am I going to jail, but I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
It was all really bad. So, of course, I sit on the side of the road. The first responding officers come out. They tell me that, whatever you do, don't tell the investigating officers that you were yelling at this woman. I'm like, I was yelling at the woman? They're like, yeah, of course we know that you're yelling at her. They don't think it was on purpose. They know it was an accident, but don't tell the officer that, okay? I'm like, yeah, fine. I'm definitely not going to tell the officer that. The first thing the investigating officer says to me as he walks up to me is, what gives you the right to come out and yell at this woman? Look what you've done. So he tells me to stay in town, does that whole thing. So I'm thinking, there's no way I'm getting out of this. So he calls me, like 2 hours later after he's done his investigation. He had to go to the hospital, of course, to interview her and talk to her.
Right. Because Jesus loves you.
Because Jesus loves me. He ended up writing me a ticket, and that's it, for careless driving. I was never so happy to meet an officer somewhere at a gas station because he asked me to go meet him to receive my ticket. I was never so happy to receive a citation from an officer in my life, and trust me, I've received a bunch of them. I was gleefully willing to go up there and meet him, and she ended up fighting her ticket. I saw her later. She was just fine, so you know. She only bruised her hip. She didn't sue me at all. Very nice woman. Completely understood that it was unintentional. But, yeah, I mowed down a pedestrian once.
Nice.
So there you have it.
To say that's one of your better ones.
Oh yeah,
but that is
every
kind
time
of,
every time I pass by the location, at first I got a little sick to my stomach thinking about it. But now, as time goes by, I chuckle every time I pass by there.
I do know it's kind of freaky when somebody says Jesus loves you. Because one time I was coming off an exit ramp, and I hit a patch of oil on a slick road, and I slid into somebody. And the kid gets out, and he looks at the bumper, and he looks and goes, "It's okay, man. It's all right." And he hugs me and says, "Jesus loves you." He got back in his car, and he left.
Yeah, it was freaky. It was very freaky to have her say that. That was the last thing I wanted to hear at that point.
I completely understand. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll get a reading from Kat's. Got somebody who wants to get a reading from her, and we'll do that here momentarily. So hang on. It's Parahub Radio, the Internet's only rock and roll paranormal extravaganza. Parahub Radio, the Internet's only rock and roll paranormal extravaganza. That's the offspring there. Hi, my name is Roughhouse, and on the line, Paula, Anthony, and Katz, and joining us, Mike from Lone Star Spirits. You sitting in for Pete right now? Is that what you're doing?
I guess so.
Pete's, that's a lot of shoes to fill there. But
yeah,
anyway.
There is with Pete. That's a lot of shoes to fill.
It is. Katz is our resident psychic here on the show, and every once in a while she offers her services for absolutely free, and Mike has taken her up on it, and I'm going to let the two of them just have at it. Mike, what is your question for Katz?
Ooh.
Do you have one, or?
Are you just looking for direction?
I don't have one right now.
You're just looking for direction. Okay, I see.
All right, let's see here. Oh, I keep getting work. There's a lot of, I want to say, what I'm getting is like pressure from work or about work, and a lot of stress. And your joy is doing the investigations. That's where your heart really lies. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're at a crossroads about your career.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
You have something coming up, or actually, you're at a place where you're like, okay, what do I really want to do here? Because I'm tired of doing the same old crap here to put food on the table. Okay. And we're all, there's a lot of us in that position where, I actually quit my job, went, screw it, and I was out of work for a month. But I was okay. I'm not suggesting that for anyone to do that to find your right place now, especially now. But I noticed that that's where you're at. You're at a point where you're just like, there's got to be more. I want more. I want better for me. I deserve it. And you do deserve it. Okay? Never let, things sway you, from diving into a new career, job-wise, And I do see the investigation part of it picking up a lot more for you guys. So you're going to be busier with that, and I see a lot of things coming for Lone Star. Okay, I really do. Which I'd rather have Pete in on that conversation because that wouldn't be fair if I tell you and he's like, hey, you didn't say a word to me. I don't need him on me,
He couldn't show up to the show tonight. Forget him.
I know. So, yeah, I know I should. Well, you weren't there. Ha, ha, ha. No.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But the job thing's really weighing on you. In fact, it's something that's it's actually starting to make you a little bit depressed, tired. Physically, it's starting to affect you physically. Now,
yes, ma'am.
Of course,
you hit the nail on the head.
It's a lot to take because like I said, your eyes are open wider. You know what you want. You have an idea of what you want. You want to be happy. You want to be free. You don't want to be working at a job where you feel like just like all this, like I want to say, I feel like there's bricks on me, like I'm being pushed down towards the floor because it's so heavy on you. This pressure from this job, which you are really starting to just despise, and it's making you sick. So, I mean, have you kind of been looking around for another job but not acting on it? Can you tell me why? Are you?
It's just because I have seniority where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But is that true?
And,
I mean, do you have a job offer you've turned down?
I have, and the reason I've turned it down is because it's so far away from my family. It's going to keep me away from my family a lot longer than I want to be away from them. Right.
But you've been looking for other things locally, and you have been interested, but they're lower than what you're at now. But yet they'd probably be something you probably more enjoy, but you're kind of going, okay, you're weighing what you need income-wise to, should I take this chance to do a job I like and try to, we'll have to bite it for a while, cut back immediately and do all this stuff? That's what's stopping you right there, but you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, locally, the pay is a lot lower because, see, I work out in Houston, where the pay is a lot higher. And locally, I live in Huntsville, and if you don't work for the college or the prison, then you don't make no money.
Right. But what I'm trying to say. But if you still wouldn't mind the commute to Houston, there's other jobs or opportunities out there, maybe a little lower, but not much lower than what you're making right now because you have a ton of experience, okay? And you're good at whatever you do. You know what I mean? Whatever job field you go into, okay, you're going to be damn good at it because that's how you are. You pick up on things, you work hard, you're devoted, you get the job done, and people do see that, or higher up, obviously. But I do see a few opportunities around Houston, okay, that will be less stressful, that you probably shoot up promotion-wise pretty quick, okay, with under a year is what I'm seeing, okay? And you just need to check, start looking into that. You could do that on the internet, you could do that in the paper, whatever, but I have a feeling you're going to find something in the next month or so, okay, that you're going to be really interested in, okay? That's going to kind of give you that light at the end of the tunnel that you are right now so desperately looking for because you feel so, it's hitting you from all sides, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And you need to get out of that, which is hard to do. But I can give you just something, a little simple thing you can do for now. Check in with yourself at least. You're going to have to do this about 20 times a day at first, if you can remember. But you just sit there and all of a sudden just ask yourself, how do I feel right now, at this moment? Don't think about the future. Don't think about where you are. Think about where you are at this moment. You're okay, aren't you? Right now, where you're at. Right now, you're okay. Okay? Where you're sitting in front of the computer, you're okay. I have bills I got to pay, and I've got all this other stuff. I'm dealing with the job I don't care for, believe me, and I'm really looking. Nothing's come up yet, but I'm still patient about it. I know it's going to come for me. But I still have that, I've actually broke out of that getting sick kind of from my job because I really dread going, But it's, I just keep going, how do I feel right now? I feel good right now. I'm not at work. I mean, I'm right here, right now, in this moment. In this moment, I'm okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
Do you see any kind of field of work that I may be going into?
I see something with paper. Does that make sense? Paper? Something to do with paper. I don't know if it's manufacturing, cutting down trees, but it has to do with paper.
Maybe money?
Weird? Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing to be a paper boy.
No. I see like a factory type of environment, but yet you'd be, of course, I see you in not so much a suit, but dressed like a manager or managerial position, like a supervisor.
Dunder Mifflin.
Is it like factory-like type work?
Yeah, but yet you're a supervisor.
Okay, well, see,
that's not where you're at now, is it?
No, I'm certified. I'm certified safety officer to be able to work in not prisons, and
Right.
factories and plants and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's just the ones that are around here are just so, they're like way down like Port Arthur, Beaumont, which are way
Right.
south from here.
Right.
And those are the job opportunities I've turned down because I'll be away from home so
Well,
long.
yeah, but there are opportunities in the Houston area, which you wouldn't be gone for long. It'd be like your normal shift, like Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like
Okay.
you'd have the weekends off. You'd work like a regular hours. You know what I mean? It would be more something that you're looking forward to. You know what I mean? You won't be coming home real late. You know, you won't come home like beat up and exhausted because when you enjoy your job, you don't. You may have a long day, but you're not going to feel like all beat up and roadkill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Sure did.
Cool. Thank you so much, Mike.
She hit the nail on the head with a lot of things she just said.
Well, that's because Cats rocks. She does. All righty, well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Kat.
Thank you,
I appreciate
Mike.
it.
We'll take
All
care.
right, keep me updated,
I will.
please. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I think actually we have. we
Somebody
have.
else wanted.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes here. We can do one more. Let's see.
Somebody said they wanted one. Who was that? Oh, DJ Omniac.
That's right. He comes on right after us on Bounce
Oh, okay.
Radio. He does the 80s show that comes on
Yeah.
right after we end in about 35 minutes or so. And Omni, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Thank you.
Cool. Good
You
to
know,
have
I
you.
listen to you guys every time I'm setting up for my show, and I said, I just got to get Cats to give me a reading.
Awesome.
Aw.
All
How
right.
you doing?
Doing good.
All right.
Good.
What'd you want to know tonight?
Well, we're starting a new business venture out here. Me and a friend of mine. I just wanted to know, does it look like it's going to turn out good?
You are going to need a lot of patience. You may be hearing like information like things are going to take off, everything's set up to go. But as in a lot of other things, there's always delays. Something always comes up or somebody drops out, stuff like that. Not your partner. I'm talking about other, people that'll be
Sure.
involved in it. It's going to take a lot of patience. I see about 9 months, 9 to 12.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Well,
That's good.
no, to build it up. And I do see it will be profitable, but like you got patience, and then you're going to have. I do see a little bit of a conflict as things start picking up, but that's to me normal for business partners.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But I'm getting, if you stick with the formula you start with, you will never fail in your business. Okay? Whatever you guys start out doing with your business, however you do it, everybody runs their businesses differently. Obviously, everybody has a strategy for it. Whatever strategy you guys start with,
Right.
stick with, because it's not wrong. That is the one that's going to work amazingly for your company. And if you veer off from it and add new stuff or doing this and that, it's going to lessen everything. It's going to, it's not going to be as, it's just going to start dropping down. But I just keep getting very strongly, stick with the strategy you start with. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. But I see within 9 to 12 months, yes.
That actually makes a lot of sense, dealing with something that we're dealing with right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Really cool.
Oh, good.
Cool. Anything else you
Good.
need to know?
No,
Your
future
love
wealth
life?
is
Your
always
love
good.
life?
Yeah, sure. You
love
can
life?
throw that in. Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel that. I was like, love life. Somebody's yelling love life.
You're going to
at
meet
me.
a girl
Okay.
that has triple T's. No.
Wow.
And her name begins with P.
Oh, there you go. That always works, right?
Where are you going with this, Cats?
Let's see. Okay, out of the gutter. Okay. All right, your love life. Now,
Do you really want this?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
anything you could find out, right? Or information.
okay. Now,
Dude, she'll
you
bore
just-
right into your brain.
Right.
I know. Okay. I feel that either you just are kind of fading out of a relationship, but it wasn't really a relationship. It's like kind of like dating, and you were kind of and then it's like no. Is that right?
No, I'm kind of right in the middle of it. Yeah.
For you? But how are you really feeling about it?
I'm
'Cause
feeling pretty good as far as I'm aware.
Oh, maybe I'm seeing the future. No, I'm just kidding. No, I feel that there is confusion.
Oh, well, yeah.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, no. It's more like
maybe you're reading the other side of this relationship.
Yeah.
I see. No, I could be foreseeing that. Now, everyone has fears. Okay.
Sure.
Now, whether or not she's listening.
No, not at all.
Okay, everybody. Well, everybody has fears, and you. All right, I'm not going to call you on it, and I'm not calling you a liar. Okay,
right.
So I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing. Whether you don't have to admit anything, you don't want to. Okay.
Sure.
But
sure.
what I'm getting is, you take relationships extremely seriously.
Yes.
You're faithful. Yeah. They should be faithful. 50-50. Okay, you've been burned hardcore.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have not held that against anyone new after those bad ones, okay? Which is good, but in the back of your head, you still have that because you were fooled before. You have been blinded before,
Yes.
and it took you a long time to heal from one that I want to cry for you because it was really bad. It was heartbreaking. To got you to such a low point, I want to tell you right now, I'm very proud of where you are now that you brought yourself out of that. Because I know that was a lot of hard work, and that's a long road to do when you get crushed like that. Okay.
Roughhouse is right. She's good.
She is in Japan, dude. I tell you.
It's getting kind of creepy. Keep going. I want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with this one, yes, she's very special. She's a very sweet person. I feel nothing but good and honesty with her. Okay, but you need to be a little bit more open to that. You know what I mean? It's not that you're not believing anything of her. It's just like kind of like when you're looking at the relationship in a whole, it's like, I don't know. What if? Even though that's not a conscious thought, it is back there. And that's something that you're going to have to face and deal with because we've all done it. Everybody's listening going, yep, me too. Every time everybody's been burned over and over and over again consistently, no matter how bad or how not bad it was, you still have that fear in the back of your head after a while. It's like repetition. Is this person going to, hello? In fact, someone I'm seeing I had a conversation with, and I told him my fear. I'm afraid you're going to run off and cheat on me like everybody else. He said, well, I'm afraid you're after me for my money. And I went, no, I'm just kidding. No, but you know what I mean? But we were very honest about that. And once we talked about it, we laughed because I don't really feel that from him. I'm not afraid anymore.
I would think dating a psychic would scare me.
Oh, heck yeah.
No, well, see, that's why I'm not worried about him because he doesn't worry about it. He's like, read me, I don't care. And I'm like, awesome.
Dude, let me tell you, she's done more for you than she's done for me. I won't let her do it.
He won't.
Well, no, I'm actually, the more she talked about it, it was kind of creepy. This almost mirrored a conversation I had 3 hours ago.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So as far as the whole doubt and conversing about it, that was something that just happened.
Yes, and there's no way, just so people who are listening understand, there's no way the two of these two could have possibly been together. No way.
No.
I've never talked to you before, James, so.
No.
And James, where are you at? You're in
Amarillo, yeah.
Amarillo.
Okay.
He's like right over there. He's my neighbor, kind of.
One
state apart.
Yeah, well, there's quite a bit of state between you. But...
I know, but he's closer to me than you guys are. You guys are floating over there in hurricane land,
All I got to do is go across the big ditch there, and they called the Gulf of Mexico. But anyway.
So, James, do you have a question on that? Anything you want me to go a little deeper into that, or is there something about it you want to know?
Is it look like it's heading towards a positive outcome? That's really.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good,
but you do have some obstacles that within yourself.
Yes.
Keep talking to her about it. She won't take it personal. She's open. She's there to listen, and she's a very good listener, and she's totally understanding. I can see this going farther than it is right now, as long as both parties are feeling it. Now, as soon as you feel any doubt, you need to tell her. Don't ever be afraid. But should your eye wander, you need to let her go. No, seriously.
I got it. No, I'm with you.
Okay.
She'll know.
Yes,
she knows now.
and that she said the L word to you already. She doesn't throw that out, and neither do you.
Right.
So knowing that, then that should set your heart a lot of ease right there.
Wait, did you tell her that, or did you just pick that up? Did I miss something?
No, she's dead on.
I mean, but did you tell Katz just now that she had said she loved you?
No.
Okay, so you just picked that up, Katz.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Now
I'm impressed.
I'm scared.
Ruff's like block, 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 block.
Because people don't understand. Cats has an ability that's very rare. She can read people over the internet.
Right.
She doesn't have to see you. She doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be over the phone. She can actually read you over the internet. How scary is that?
They call me a power psychic. Actually, I called that. Yeah.
So.
Because I can do stuff like that. But it's all about connecting, and he wanted me to connect, and I get connect.
And we're very proud to have you.
Thank you. Well,
Thank
James,
you very much,
James, I want you to keep me updated. You know, I'm on the Parahub MySpace page. So please feel free to add me, and then keep me updated. Okay, if you have any other questions, please message me.
Hey, you've got a big fan right here. I'm very excited. Thank you.
Me
cool.
too.
Everybody stay tuned because coming up here in about 25 minutes on Bounce Radio, DJ Omni, is it 80s? It's all 80s?
That's right, 80s with Omniac. Yeah, it'll be a fun time.
And who do you got tonight, just as, kind of a...
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to get a little bit soulful tonight. We're probably going to do a little Minnie the Moocher with by oh God, now I'm blanking. Isn't that horrible?
See what I did too.
By Oingo Boingo.
There you go.
I think we're going to start the show.
Yay.
So yeah,
awesome.
a little bit different. So
right.
we'll have fun.
And that's coming up in about 25 minutes or so on Bounce Radio. On Beast Radio, I believe we go back to regular programming. So thanks again, everybody, for being on the show. Hopefully, Cats helped you out there. And it's time for us to take off on out of here. Join us. Hey, next week we've got, let's see, where is my calendar? Coming up next week, we're talking with Deborah Pickman. She owns the Sally House. That ought to be an interesting show. Catch us tomorrow night, Haunted Hunters Friday night show will be on Pete and I, 1 a.m. on the East Coast, 10 p.m. on the West Coast, and then catch Pete at the Jefferson County Hunters and Legend Seeker Conference on Saturday night. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you the same time next week. Thanks, everybody, being on the show. Paula, Anthony, and Cats. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Roughhouse. Thanks for listening to this week's Parahub Radio Podcast. As always, you can hear us live every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, 3 a.m. if you happen to be in the UK. Just go to parahub.org and click on the chat, and you can listen to us and talk to us while we're doing the show. Thanks again. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Doorways Magazine.
Journal of Horror and the Paranormal.
Our stories and columns as doorways to transport you to other places.
Some of those places may scare you.
Others make you sit back and think.
But all of them are here to take you out of your ordinary life for just a little while.
Where nothing follows the rules.
Where commonplace events have uncommon consequences.
Where the sound you hear.
Where the sound you hear or the movement you see from the corner of your eye is just as scary and strange as your imagination says it might be.
Visit us at doorwaypublications.com.